Welcome, everyone. Once again, another new episode of Casting for Two. Episode number 39. 39 weeks. 39. Almost 40. I'm getting up there in age. And I'm still going. Still got a lot of episodes to do. Still got a lot in me. But, you know what? Thank you. Thank you all for joining me on this ride. I don't know why my voice went so high right there for a second. But I think I'm just going to do my normal voice right now. Well, like I said last episode, right now, depending on when you're listening to this, I will be or already have moved locations. So, there might be a new episode next week. There might not be. Depends on the internet situation. So, I'm not going to lie. But, enough with that. I got to get to today's guest. So, my guest on the show today, her name is Becca Brown. And she is a rocker, actress, improver. I had a blast talking with her. You might know her from a little movie called School of Rock, which is I said in the episode, one of the most quoted movies around the house because it is. And it was great chatting with her. She was the girl who played the bass. Chilo, I got a bass. We talk about that in the episode as well. But we just played a little game of catch up, what she's doing now. And there was a recent 10-year anniversary for School of Rock, so I definitely wanted to hear about that. So overall, great conversation, great chat, super cool, super chill, and why don't we just listen to it, okay? So sit back, relax, and let's get this episode started, all right? Chris, please cue the music, please. Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just kind of chilling this morning. I hope I didn't wake you.
Oh, you did. I was actually already up and about. I'm just eating breakfast right now.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you eat?
Egg whites, and I made a smoothie type deal.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
I don't know why I asked. I just felt like knowing what you were eating.
No, yeah. Pretty valid question. What did you have for breakfast?
I had a bagel.
I love bagels. I actually just went gluten free, so it's been a rough couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did have a gluten free donut the other day that was very good, and
Well, I live in Texas, so it's kind of hard to find gluten free anything.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I was there. I was in Austin a couple months ago for that School of Rock reunion.
Oh yeah. That we'll talk more about that. We'll talk lots more about that.
Awesome.
But whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised. I'm there now.
Oh.
Yeah, I've lived there my whole life. Here my whole life. It's actually one of the best cities in the entire world because there's so much everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense, but it's such a artistic and cultural mecca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I actually will be moving up there in less than a week.
In Chicago?
Yeah. I'm moving for work. There's a suburb there, Bloomingdale.
Bloomingdale?
Yeah.
Okay. Bloomingdale or Bloomington?
Bloomingdale.
Oh, I've never heard of Bloomingdale, Illinois.
Yeah, it's there. Unless somebody's playing a joke on me.
No, it's that sounds totally valid.
Yeah.
Are you gonna like try and like come to the city very often? Because you should if you're coming down to
Of course.
Illinois.
Yeah.
How far is the suburb from Chicago?
It's like 40 minutes away.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
You can come down here. Sure.
Oh, of course.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm very interested in comedy, so
No, this is the place to do it.
exactly. So I'm gonna give it a shot.
That's why I stayed. Second City and IO and Illinois, my 3 favorite places in the entire world.
Do you go to shows regular or?
I go to shows. I also took classes all 3 of those places.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently in the Second City Conservatory for Music Improv.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, super fun.
And what is? I've never heard of the music improv. What does that entail?
Yeah, you're fine. Sorry, that was my mom. Music improv, so it's improvising full-length musicals, like in the style of Sondheim or in the style of like a rock opera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or like there are also like musical improv games, like for fun games, but the stuff that I'm working on right now is more like long form, full length musicals. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay, right on. Hey, this is a common theme that pops up in the podcast because I'm very interested in talking to musicians because I envy them because they can come up with music, maybe not on the spot, but they can come up with music. I can't come up with music to save my life.
Yeah, I used to be really like afraid of like my lyrics. I used to think that my lyrics were super like girly and angsty and stupid, but then I was like, wait, like so are 90% of everything on the radio. So right. Yeah.
No, that makes I just can't. I can't write any lyrics to say. I've played drums for 14 years, and that's pretty much it. That's it.
That's awesome.
If you need a accompaniment, that I can do that, but I just don't ask me to write anything. It'll be bad. But so I wanted to chat with you a little bit about your old School of Rock days and how you got there. School of Rock is a huge part of my family's life because it's still one of the most quoted movies in the house.
Oh, good.
And
that's awesome.
I'm just a personal question. Do people walk up to you if they recognize you and say, "Chilo, you have a bass"?
Actually, you know what? That happened to me like a couple of days ago. I was walking around with a couple of my friends, and it was like a late Saturday night, mm-hmm. And these 2 like frat bros, they were like really drunk, and they were like, "School of Rock? Hello, you got a bass." And I was just like, yes. I was like, that is me. All right. I was thrown off by it, and my friends had never like experienced that with me. Uh-huh. Like I'd experienced it before, obviously, like, but they had never been with me when it's happened, mm-hmm. and they were so geeked out. And I was just like, no, you guys, it's not really that big. It happens quite more often than you'd expect. Uh-huh. And they were just like, but that was so cool. They were like, he recognized you, and you were 10 in that movie, and he recognized you now. And I was like, well, that says a lot about how I have mannered physically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely anytime anybody recognizes me, they say, "Chilo, you got a bass for sure." That's like the first thing they say.
But well, I mean, I guess you could have it worse. I mean, I'm sure the Screech hates, did I do that?
Oh, yeah, Urkel?
Yeah, Urkel, yeah. What was Screech? Screech has other problems. Urkel, yeah, I bet he hates that.
Yeah, I'm sure. And it's really funny because I didn't even say that line in the film.
Yeah.
Like, it's associated with me the most. So whenever we were at the reunion, mm-hmm. we all, like, after the screening of the film, introduced ourselves and, like, talked a little bit about, like, what we were up to.
Uh-huh.
And when they got to me, I was like, "Hello," and everyone went wild. It was hilarious. I was so happy. I was like, "Yes, nailed it."
Right on. And so when you were first, back in the day when you were, a little one, how did you hear about this audition? Or was it your parents or?
Well, as a kid, I never really did acting. I actually was trained in classical guitar. I started out doing that when I was 4, and I was on this radio show that showcased young classical musicians, and that was when I was 9. So I was in 4th grade, and I did the show, and I was adorable. And then, like, a couple months later, Paramount showed a casting, School of Rock, and they found me and also Robert Sy, who played Lawrence, the keyboard player, on From the Top. They found us through that. So they found us. They called us up, called me in for an audition, and I had never really acted before. But I figure, like, my brother and sister, when we were little, used to act out, like, TV shows that we would make up. And there would be, like, commercials and bloopers and everything. It was so I figured, I was like, oh, I didn't realize. I was like, but that's what I was doing, was acting. And I was just like, oh, so this is not that hard. I can just do this and, go for this audition and see what happens, whatever. Didn't think anything of it. And then a couple months later, they called me in for a callback, a second audition, where they wanted me to, like, dress like a rocker chick and, like, play like a electric guitar song. So I played that one Lenny Kravitz song, I Want to Get Away.
Oh, yeah.
One.
Yeah.
And then so I went in, I did that, and then, like, a week later, I got it. I got a call saying that I was cast. So that was pretty awesome. I was 10, so that's good news for a 10-year-old to be cast in the first film audition they've ever auditioned for.
Right.
Yeah, and, like, it's so that's how I got the movie. Yeah.
And then hanging out with Jack Black, who's just like basically an adult kid, that probably was pretty fun as well.
Oh, it was the most fun. He was very much like our, like, crazy uncle. Still is. I mean, whenever we went down to Austin, it was still like he was the same. I mean, I had seen him before the reunion because his band Tenacious D had a concert in Chicago that I went to, and that I was, backstage in the family friends unit for. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, he was very much like our crazy uncle who always made a dirty joke, and our moms would all be there, and they wouldn't care. They were like, whatever. We'll deal with our kids getting bad influence, and, it's all worth it. It was so great. He would prefer to hang out with us than with, like, the big wig production studio people,
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
And it speaks a lot to himself too, just his personality and what type of guy he is. So. Yeah.
He's good people. He's really good people.
There we go. All right. So breaking news: Jack Black is good people. Finally, we can get that out in the world. But so you land the gig or the role. And I've just always wondered, because I've always wanted to play guitar, but I can't do it. Too many strings. I don't know what it is. Was it hard I've just always wondered how a guitarist just goes from one stringed instrument to another? Was there any adjustment or?
Bass is, it is easier than guitar, but it's also, like, very different. I'm still playing bass. I actually am a bassist in a band in Chicago right now called the Brothers Star Race, and I thought I was we started going to the studio, and I learned that I was actually not the best bassist. So, like, over the last several months recording with this band, I've been, like, fine-tuning the skills, and it's a lot of work. Like, you basically provide the, like, spine and the, like, the groove for the band, you know? So, like, that's the bassist responsibility. And people make jokes about how bassists, like, they get the short end of the stick, but they actually have a lot of work to do. They have a lot to do. They keep the song grooving.
Right.
So it's 4 strings as opposed to a guitar's 6, and all the strings are an octave lower than the guitar. So it's but it's the ultimate like support instrument, you know.
Yeah, no,
I like it.
I did jazz band for 3 or 4 years. I don't know, and yeah, it was always Chris. Listen to the bass. Listen to the bass. See, listen to what he's doing. Follow him. And I would just be like, okay, all right, I'll follow the bass.
Right, the drummer and the bass are the rhythm of the band. And without them, there would be nothing.
Exactly. So the two most important job, it's a bassist is like a sound guy on the film set. You know, everyone hates waiting for the sound guy, but you need him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of pressure.
Exactly. So, did you have any stories from set that you can remember? Any fun stories?
There are a lot. Well, I'm trying to think. Oh my God, I just remembered this. Okay, so we, since School of Rock was filmed, like, during the school year, we had to be, like, tutored on set. We had 2 on-set teachers, and they were awesome. And they split up the kids by grade. So I was with the older kids. And we were, we every day started class with, like, a prayer, quote unquote, that we made up. But it was like, I remember it was like CBGB, ACDC, OMFUD. If you don't like taking tests, then come rock out with me. And then we would sing the Honeycomb song from, like, the 80s. Like, Honeycomb Big. Yeah. Like, and then we'd do, like, it was almost like, it was every day. We couldn't start class without doing it. It was so stupid. I just remembered that. How did I not remember that? That's awesome. We were just very, like, chill. Yeah, we all basically lived together too, like, and we all, like, did everything together. We would go to the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum and Times Square all the time. And yeah, we'd go to dinner, like, every night after filming was done. It was awesome.
Do you keep up with any of the other rockers?
I do. I do. The guitarist is in Detroit, so I chat with him semi-regularly. And then I was actually very close with Angelo Mastagli, who played Frankie in the film, who was, like, one of the security guard kids. He was also on The Sopranos when he was little. And he was, like, one of my best friends on set. We actually, like, were madly in love with each other. So, yeah, and we kept in touch. Yeah. And so we still chat every once in a while. And then Miranda Cosgrove is one of my dear friends. We chat fairly often too, but I haven't seen her since the reunion. I haven't seen them since the reunion.
And so I guess this is a perfect segue to talk about the reunion and why because when I started the podcast, it was around that time, and I just thought, hey, maybe I should track some of these kids down, or not kids, adults now. I'm the old adult, so everyone's kids now. But how?
Oh, we're so kids. we're so kids, even if we are like of age.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack Black is still a kid. He's way of age.
But so, how did they approach you with the reunion? And was it just like a automatic? We want to do a Was it just yes, or was there some convincing?
You know, we knew they were going to do this 10-year reunion. Mm-hmm. We always knew because they said like all of us were over all of us save two were of age to drink.
Okay.
By the time 10 years was up. So they were like, we have to do a 10-year reunion. Like, and they've been planning this since literally the day we stopped shooting. Like, so we knew there was like gonna be one. We all knew it was gonna happen. So 10 years came around and I was looking at my calendar and I was just like, oh, that's this year. Oh my God. And I'm going to be 21 and it's going to be magical. And, sure enough, I get an email around like April of, last year saying like, hey, this is Rick Linklater's, assistant. We're getting together the reunion. It's going to be in Austin, Texas at the end of August. And I was like, perfect. It's right after my birthday. Nailed it. So we are, you know, they were going to do a screening and then like an after party at the Gibson showroom in Austin where the original band, the School of Rock, would play together, one more, like for the first time in 10 years. And so that was like the most exciting thing because like I was just so pumped, and we were only going to do 2 songs. We were only going to do the song from the Battle of the Bands, and we were going to do the AC/DC one from the end of the movie. And when we got there to the rehearsal space that day, the day of the performance, we all had like all these different ideas, and we're like, oh, we should do the Immigrant Song. We should do Step Off. We should do In the End of Time. And we should also do Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. And like, so we ended up playing like 8 songs. It was fantastic.
Right on. And then after that, you went out and partied.
Oh yeah. Right. Majorly partied. Mike White, Rick Linklater, and Jack Black. And then a handful of the kids, who didn't have to like be on a flight like that night or the next morning at like 6, which I did. My flight was at 6 in the morning. I just did not sleep. I wanted to stay out as long as possible. And plus, like, it was my first time out of the state with my family, or without my family. Oh, okay. So I was just like, I'm 21, I'm alive, and I'm also like hammered with Jack Black. So we were all pretty rowdy. We went swimming in his like hotel swimming pool at like 2 in the morning, and we're being very, very disruptive.
Oh, that's fun. That must have been a weird feeling for Mike and Jack and Richard. Just that, you know, they worked with you when you guys were kids, and now you guys are getting drunk together.
Oh my God! I could tell they were having the best time of their lives. Yeah, even Robert Sy, who played Lawrence, like, even he was a little tipsy. It was just awesome. I was so happy. I was so very happy.
I don't suppose they're planning for a 20th reunion, are they?
Oh, they are.
They are. They have it up until the 50th.
They absolutely are. I think they do.
And I know that there was talks of actually doing a second one, and then it kind of and I know I guess it kind of fizzled out. Did you know any details on that?
I did, and then I didn't. I knew the story. I knew that we were gonna be in it, but not as. I think it was gonna be a new cast of kids. And we were gonna be in it, but I don't know. I feel like that would have maybe changed a lot and like made it less of a great thing that it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes sequels ruin the original.
Correct. Yeah.
So I don't think they wanted to do that. But I don't know. I don't know if they're still going to do it. I think, like, seeing us and seeing how, like, awesome we still are maybe change their mind. And, like, maybe wanted to, like, I don't know. My hope and dream is to do a sequel, but it's, like, with us, and we're, like, all older and awesome now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how it would work. I think it would be so cool, though. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the sequel is in the works still. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if it does, I'm totally down. I'm totally game.
Yeah, and I'm sure, you know, myself and my family included would be happy to watch that for sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a whole new batch of quotes.
Great.
But, so I didn't have anything else to chat about. Did you want to, now for the people at home who would like to follow you or the bands that you play in, where can they do that?
You can follow me on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm still eating.
No problem.
You can follow me on Twitter, and my handle is Becca Brown, but Becca, Beekkuh, Brown. And then I also have Instagram, which nobody should follow.
There you go.
And my band is called The Brothers Star Race. We don't have a Twitter. We have a Facebook page. I also have a Facebook fan page that's just Becca Brown and The Brothers Star Race. Yeah. And then also, if you're ever in Chicago, I perform weekly with a musical sketch group called Cupid Players, and we have a show every Saturday night here in Chicago.
But I thank you for taking the time out of your breakfast time to chat with me.
Thank you.
But,
thank you for chatting.
Oh, no problem. Anything else you want to talk about? Come on back, and we'll chat and eat breakfast. I'll bring breakfast.
Good.
I'll make the breakfast.
Hey,
okay?
when you're in Chicago, whenever you are in Illinois, let me know, and we can totes grab breakfast and chat again.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
You have a good day, okay?
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey guys, just a quick reminder, you can always catch up with these episodes on castingfor2.com. You can also follow me at Twitter @castingfor2 or send me an email at castingfor2@gmail.com.